Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Coach G. I am the owner and founder in Plant Based Fitness here in Oakland, California. And today I want to talk to you about 4 tips that if I would have knew before transitioning to a vegan diet would have made my life a whole lot easier. So, the goal of what I'm going to teach you today is how I can help you ease into an easier way of eating and eventually transition into a plant-based diet. Now, sometimes it could be people think it's rocket science, but it's really just it's just a couple things that you need to do right and you need to do consistently. So, the step number one is going to be reading labels. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is even more important, especially in this day and time. A lot of times they have things on the labels that are not labeled properly. Like sometimes they'll say plant based on the label, but then it'll have like eggs and sometimes whey and dairy. So you have to know how to identify things to know if your actual product that you're eating is vegan. The best thing is always to eat whole foods, but if you do happen to buy things from the store, because that's what usually most people do when they transition, including myself, I was the one going to the store, buying things, and they all had labels. So you have to learn how to read labels because this is going to be the key to your success. Once you become a better label reader, then you will actually know how to identify things in your products that don't belong there, like sugar. And sometimes they might have eggs and they might have like dyes and things like that. So when you start reading labels, what you do is you become an educated consumer. And that's step number one, in my opinion, that helped me out to transition to a plant-based diet was I started reading labels and I became an educated consumer. All right, so now we got step number two, which is you have to understand protein. Because one of the biggest things that people are going to do to you is they're going to say, hey, where do you get your protein from, right? And so this is key to know your protein sources. So therefore you can have, first of all, a variety of things that you eat, number one. And then number two, so you can know exactly what's quality protein and what's not, you know what I mean? And so I think that's where a lot of people struggle when in actuality, everything has protein. It's a building block for life. So you don't necessarily have to just focus purely on protein. But if you are focused on protein, then you need to know the sources of protein and where to get it from. It comes from beans, it comes from legumes, it comes from spinach, different type of leafy greens, chlorella, spirulina. Everything on this list right here is pretty much a lot of the ways that you're going to get your protein in. So it's important for you to understand protein, right? And then that way, you know, when you do transition, nobody tries to make you feel guilty and they're like, oh, are you getting enough protein? You'd be like, yeah, I am. And here are the measurements of protein that I'm getting from all the stuff that I'm eating. All right. Then we got step number three, which is hydrate like an athlete. So a lot of times people have these cravings and stuff like that. And one of the things that they don't do properly when transitioning to a vegan diet is they forget to hydrate. So, and this is what I did too. Like I wasn't really good at hydrating. So once I got better at hydrating, it helped me with cravings. It helped me to feel fuller. It helped me just my overall bodily function. You know what I mean? So that's one thing you want to think about is making sure that you are really hydrated. And so a good measurement for you to know is how much water do you need for your body weight? Usually we would say about half of your body weight in ounces, and that should be just enough to get your body where you need it to be as far as hydration levels. Now, if you're eating water-based fruits and vegetables and things with a lot of water in it, now, of course, your water consumption might not have to be as high, but that's just for someone who doesn't eat enough fruit, doesn't eat a lot of vegetables. You want to make sure that you are focusing on your water, and also you want to have that to be filtered water. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't like water, and usually it's because it's from the tap and it's not filtered and it doesn't taste good. So hydrate like an athlete, step number three. Step number four is you have to get recipes. You have to get recipes and put those recipes together. And then once you put those recipes together, it'll help you out. What you can do is you can start off with doing 1 day a week, right? You start off with like maybe like a meatless Monday, right? And then you keep going on, you keep progressing. And then next month you do 2 days a week. And then the month after that you do 3 days a week. And then you want to get yourself to a point where, they say to start a new habit, it takes about 21 days. So now you want to get yourself to a point where you can actually start this new habit and make it stick. And so 21 days is that point where you can make that habit stick. So what you want to shoot for is, after you progress yourself up, you want to get yourself to a point where you're doing 21 days straight of a plant-based diet. And so put it in all together. Once you do all 4 of those steps, it'll get you to the point where you are ready to actually become vegan. You know what I mean? Like you're ready. You should see some things like your mental clarity will be different. Your body probably is going to start to change. And it's one of the things that, I wish I would have knew all of this information before, but sometimes you just learn. When I first started off, I was just grinding up vegetables and drinking them, and I thought that was going vegan. So here are 4 tips that will help you to get to where you need to be. Now, let's say if you, what would you say if I could help you put all that together? You know what I mean? Like if I could help you take yourself from where you are now to where you where you want to be, and that would be on a plant-based diet or a vegan diet. If I could help you with that, would that be interesting to you? So check this out. I'm going to make you an offer. So what you could do is you can hit me up if you need some help putting all this stuff together. What I have a vegan transition program, and this vegan transition program is designed to help you go from where you are now to vegan. It should take about 6 weeks or so if you do the program absolutely perfectly. But then again, you don't necessarily have to do it absolutely perfectly. The goal is progress. So for those of you that are motivated and you need a little help, all you got to do is hit me. Here go my links right here. Right there. There go my links right there. Make sure you hit those links right there. That's how you get in contact with me. And then I'll be definitely more than happy to help you out to transition to a vegan diet. All right, y'all. My name is Coach G. I'm the owner of Plant-Based Fitness. If you like these tips, and if you know anyone else that could benefit, that's struggling, that needs to know how to transition to a plant-based diet, all you got to do is share this with them, and then let the magic happen. All right, y'all. Peace.